Good morning. I'm Lavanya, working as Associate Professor in the Department of ECE from Ramchandra College of Engineering, Eluru. Today, we are going to discuss about ideal and practical characteristics of operational amplifier in this presentation from Linear IC Applications course. First, we will see what are the ideal characteristics of an op-amp. They are open loop gain. First one is open loop gain, which is denoted as AOL. Ideally, it will be equal to infinity. Next one is input resistance. Input resistance is denoted with RIN and it will be ideally equal to infinity. So, which indicates the input current will be 0. Next, input offset voltage, which is denoted as VIOS, is ideally equal to 0. Next, bandwidth is infinity with a 0 phase shift, that is theta equal to 0. And sleeve rate is infinity. Output resistance is 0. And common mode rejection ratio will be infinity. And power supply rejection ratio is 0. So these are the parameters or the characteristics that we have seen here. So as it is considered as an ideal circuit, that means the internal parameters are considered to be negligible. Hence, all the values will range in terms of either zeros or infinities. So these are the ideal characteristics of an op-amp. Addition to this, we are going to see the ideal voltage curve and practical voltage curve. So these are the transfer curves of ideal op-amp. So here we have seen this is a voltage transfer curve which is drawn with respect to input and output voltages. So input voltage is taken on x-axis and output voltage is taken on y-axis. So this V2 minus V1 is nothing but the differential voltage V2. So if we consider ideally, since we know that ideal gain is equal to V0 by Vd and is equal to infinity. So from this we have to get what is Vd. So Vd will be equal to V0 divided by infinity from this expression. So which is nothing but Vd will be equal to 0. So if the denominator is infinity, irrespective of the numerator, output will be equal to 0. So if Vd equal to 0, then V0 we can consider it to be, it will range plus or minus the saturation voltage, that is the maximum voltage that is occurred at the output terminals. So from this graph, we can see that ideally it ranges from minus Vsat to plus Vsat, that is plus or minus saturation voltage levels. But if we take the practical voltage transfer curve, there may be some small change from the zero axis. That is, this is the difference we have got. This level is said to be some V delta. So here it is shown. Ideally, if this value is infinity, but practically this value will not be infinity, and we are considering this to be finite value. Say we are considering this the typical value of voltage gain. Practical open loop gain will be equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 5. So if we consider this to be voltage gain, open loop voltage gain, then from this we can consider V0 is assumed to be plus or minus Vsat. That is almost we are considering 15 volts. So for IC741 we will be using plus or minus 15 volts as a saturation voltage. So hence we are considering output voltage that is plus or minus Vsat equal to plus or minus 15 volts. So if you consider AOL is equal to 2 into 10 to the power of 5 and plus or minus Vsat, that is V0 equal to plus or minus 15, then if you substitute both the values in this above expression, you will be getting Vd equal to plus or minus 75. So if you consider this value, and you will be getting this graph like this. So it will increase linearly. Here we have straight increase like this, and it remains in this same level. But here if you see the practical characteristics, it may take some angle, that is it is increasing linearly to some point, and after reaching to plus Vsat, it remains in this saturation voltage itself. Similarly, in the negative level also. So this is the voltage transfer characteristics of ideal as well as practical op amps. Next we go for practical characteristics of an op amp, which is divided into two types. They are AC characteristics. So AC characteristics is further divided into sleeve rate and frequency response. Next category is DC characteristics. So under DC characteristics, we have 5 different characteristics we are going to concentrate. That is the important characteristics. First one is input bias current. Next, input offset current. Next, input offset voltage. Next, output offset voltage. And the last one is thermal rate. So in this presentation, we are going to see about the AC characteristics of an op amp. So under practical characteristics, we are going to see only AC characteristics of an op amp in this presentation. So that is, first one is sleeve rate and the second one is frequency response. Next we go for sleeve rate. So here for small signal sinusoidal AC applications, one has to know the AC characteristics of an op amp. Like, so here we have shown separately what are the AC characteristics that we have to consider. First one is sleeve rate and second one is frequency response. So for this, we have to consider the small signal sinusoidal applications. So now we will see what is sleeve rate. So sleeve rate definition. So sleeve rate can be defined as the maximum rate of change of voltage that can be generated by the op amp's output circuitry. So generally, this we are considering to be dV by dt. So here sleeve rate is denoted with the dV by dt, or SR is equal to dV by dt, which is nothing but what? The maximum rate of change of voltage that can be generated by the op amp's output circuitry. So this is the definition for sleeve rate. The units for this sleeve rate will be volts per microseconds. It is nothing but it is measured in terms of volts per microseconds. So we will see what is this sleeve rate means. We have seen what is the definition of sleeve rate, but actually what is this sleeve rate? It means op amp's output cannot respond instantaneously to the change in input. That is, whenever we are changing the input voltage, the op amp's output will not respond immediately or instantaneously. So the change in between input and output, that is the delay from input change to the output change, is nothing but the sleeve rate. Practically, the sleeve rate for op amps is specified in between 0.1 to greater than 1000 volts per microseconds. So this is practically specified as sleeve rates. Ideally, they are infinite. So it is also a function of temperature, and generally it decreases with an increase in temperature. So once we have seen this definition for sleeve rate, that is with respect to time. So dV by dt. So which is nothing but what? The change in input voltage to the change in output voltage. That is how quickly the output is responding to the change in input voltage is defined as the sleeve rate. So this sleeve rate can also be expressed in terms of temperature. So that is, sleeve rate is inversely proportional to the temperature. So as sleeve rate increases, so generally we require sleeve rate to be maximum value. So if the sleeve rate increases, then temperature will get decreased. So it depends upon the temperature. If temperature is reduced, that is at low temperatures, the sleeve rate can be maintained high. If the temperature is increased, then sleeve rate will be reduced. So we have to maintain the temperature at lower levels. This is one parameter we need to consider for sleeve rate. So here we have shown the graph of the output voltage with respect to time from the definition. Next, what causes this sleeve rate? So why this sleeve rate is occurred? Because that means the delay between input and output voltage. Why that delay has been occurred? Because if you see the equivalent circuit of a op amp, you will be having a capacitor at the output terminals of an op amp. So because of this presence of capacitance, as capacitor does not respond to the immediate changes, therefore the rate at which voltage across the capacitor Vc increases is given by dVc by dt equal to I by C. So I will explain this once again. So what causes this sleeve rate? What causes this sleeve rate means, sleeve rate we have seen that the change in output voltage with respect to the change in input voltage. That means if input voltage is changed, immediately output voltage will also have to be changed. But here, due to presence of capacitor at the output terminals of op amp, this change in input voltage, that means change in output voltage with respect to the change in input voltage will not cause suddenly. As we know that this capacitor will not respond to the sudden changes. There may be some gap or delay between the change in input to the change in output. So here, with respect to that capacitor voltage, we are defining this sleeve rate in terms of voltage, that is current and capacitance value. That is, the rate at which the voltage across the capacitor increases is given as dVc by dt equal to I by C. Next, for obtaining faster sleeve rate, op amp should have either a higher current or a compensating capacitor, that is small compensating capacitor. So from the relation that SR is proportional to I by C, that is, to maintain higher sleeve rate, the current should be more, or the capacitor that is connecting across the output terminal should be maintained a smaller value. So by this you can increase the sleeve rate. So with respect to temperature and with respect to current or the capacitor, you can maintain the sleeve rates high. The next parameter you will be having is frequency response. So next characteristics is frequency response. So for obtaining this frequency response, you need to consider high frequency model of an op amp. So this is the high frequency model, or just we are considering equivalent circuit of the practical op amp. So what is meant by frequency response? Frequency response means the variation in operating frequency will cause variations in gain magnitude and its phase angle. So the manner in which, the manner in which gain of the op amp responds to the different frequencies is called as frequency response. That means this frequency response can be expressed in terms of magnitude and phase angle. So for change in frequency, you can see the variation in gain as well as phase. Hence, we are defining this frequency response in terms of gain versus frequency and phase angle versus frequency graphs. So ideally, we know that bandwidth is equal to infinity. That means if it's open loop gain in 90 dB with the DC signal, the gain should remain same at this 90 dB through audio as well as radio frequencies. That means for low frequencies as well as high frequencies, this value should be maintained constant, that is at 90 dB. But practically it gets roll off. That means the op amp gain decreases at higher frequencies. So why it happens again? There must be a capacitive component in the equivalent circuit of an op amp. So even here also the reason is the capacitive component that is present at the output terminals of an op amp. Due to presence of this capacitive component, that is capacitor, this gain decreases at the higher frequencies. So for an op amp with only one break or corner frequency, all the capacitor effects can be represented by a single capacitor C. So for all the break frequencies, we are representing with a only single capacitor, that is as shown in circuit. That is, see here at the output terminals of an op amp, you will be having a capacitor. So due to presence of this capacitor, there is an effect in frequency response as well as sleeve rate. So the effect will be seen in later. Now first we will see the magnitude response. So this is the magnitude response where x-axis we are considering frequency and on y-axis we are considering the magnitude or gain of a circuit. So if you see, there is one pole due to RC. If you see the circuit in the previous slide, here you will be having at the output terminals one resistance and one capacitance. This is, we call it as one pole. Because of presence of this one component, that is R and C combination, which is nothing but as pole, obviously 1 minus 20 dB per decade roll off will affect. So if we have one set of RC combinations, you will be having minus 20 dB per decade roll off at the upper cutoff frequencies, that is as frequency increases. So if we consider F1 is a corner frequency or upper 3 dB frequency of the op amp, which we can call it as cutoff frequency also. So the magnitude and phase angle of open loop gain are F1 of the frequency can be written as. So the magnitude and frequency is written as F1 is equal to 1 by 2 pi R0 into C. And magnitude response or magnitude can be written as AOL, which is nothing but open loop gain divided by root of 1 plus F by Fn whole square. So this is the magnitude response formula. So by applying different values of F, you can obtain the magnitude response of the given circuit. For example, if you consider F for frequency F much less than F1. Suppose if you consider F1 is equal to 1 kilohertz. If F1 is equal to 1 kilohertz, then if we are considering F to be much less than F1. So you can consider this F value to be 10 hertz. We consider F value to be 10 hertz or 100 hertz. So you will be getting, if you substitute both the values, you will be getting 100 or 10 by 1000, that is 1 by 100. So you will be getting 0.01 whole square. So if you take that whole square, you will be having 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. So 1 plus 1 into the 1 plus 1 into 10 to the power of minus 4. Minus 4 is approximately considered to be 1. So root of 1 will be equal to 1 itself. So if we consider gain of open loop circuit to be 1, then overall magnitude will be equal to 1. So that means the magnitude of gain is 20 log of AOL in dB. So magnitude is considered in terms of dBs here. So for the obtained value of A, magnitude of A, you have to calculate in terms of dBs. So for that the formula is 20 into log of AOL in dB. So for this we are drawing, for example, if F is equal to 0, this is the value I am considering. So 10 hertz. So for this, the gain of a circuit will be maximum. Circuit will be maximum and it is constant till certain frequencies. Again, I am considering at the frequency range F is equal to F1. That is both F and break frequency. Both frequencies are equal. So this is 1 kilohertz and this is also 1 kilohertz. So if we consider both the frequencies to be equal, what happens? Then you will be getting AOL divided by root of 1 root 2. Root of 1 plus 1, that is equal to 1 by root 2. So 1 by root 2 you will be considering the value that is decreasing. The gain of circuit, since if it is considered to be 1, now it is reduced by some value. So this value you are considering it as 3 dB frequency or 3 dB value, and this frequency is marked as cutoff frequency. Now if we consider the frequency greater than F1, so if F1 is equal to 1K and F is considered to be say 100 kilohertz, third case, then what happens? This value will be further decreased and it's keep on decreasing. So if you see the magnitude response of this circuit, for initial values, that is for lower values of frequency, the gain is remain constant, and at break frequency it is reduced by minus 20 dB per decade, and after this break frequency it's keep on decreasing. So if we have one corner frequency, then this fall or roll off will be in terms of minus 20 dB per decade. If we have two corner frequencies, that is F1 and F2, then this roll off will take a 20 minus 20 dB per decade plus minus 20 dB per decade. Total you will be having minus 40 dB per decade roll off. So it's keep on increasing. So this is about the magnitude response of op-amp. Next we will be seeing phase response. So in phase response, we are taking the response in between phase angle theta with respect to the frequency. So we know that the phase angle theta is equal to minus tan inverse of f by f1, where f is equal to circuit frequency and f1 equal to break frequency or the corner frequency. So from the phase characteristics, the phase angle is 0 at f is equal to 0. So if you consider the phase angle is equal to 0, this is 1. So as we have taken this time axis, x-axis to be time, the frequency will be inverse of this. So here we have t is equal to 1 by f. So here this is t equal to 0, that means f is equal to infinity. For f is equal to 0, what happens? T will be maximum. So we have to consider here. So at frequency is equal to 0, the phase characteristics or phase angle will be equal to 0. And at corner frequency f equal to f1, the phase angle is minus 45 degrees. So it is reduced to minus 45 degrees, which we call it as lagging an infinite frequency, that is the phase angle is minus 90 degrees. Next we are showing that if it is further increased, that is if frequency is decreased further, you will be having a maximum of 90 degrees phase angle change can occur in an op-amp with a single capacitor C. So zero frequency is taken as a decade below the corner frequency, and infinite frequency is 1 decade above the corner frequency. So here it is above the corner frequency and this is below the corner frequencies. So from this we can get the frequency response of a phase response of an op-amp. So till here we have seen only frequency and sleeve rate, frequency response and sleeve rate, that is AC characteristics of an op-amp. Further, we have to reduce this capacitance, effect of capacitance on the circuit. That means we have to see the stability of an op-amp. For that, we are going to use frequency compensation techniques. So all these things will be discussed in the next video. And we will see now what are the assignment questions that will be asked from this topic. So first one is, draw the high frequency model of an op-amp with single break frequency and analyze open loop voltage gain as a function of frequency. So for this, the answer will be, we have to draw the AC equivalent circuit of an op-amp, that is whatever we have seen initially. Then we have to take the open loop voltage gain, that means frequency response, that is magnitude response of the circuit op-amp has to be drawn, and we have to find out what is the single break frequency, that is F1. This carries 7 marks. The next question is, explain about the sleeve rate. So we have to write the definition and how it affects the what is the ideal and practical values of sleeve rate, and we have to write what are the other factors that affects the sleeve rate, that is first one is temperature and the other one is capacitance value, or you can consider it as current. So if you write all these points, you will be getting 4 marks. Next question you will be having, what is operational amplifier? List out ideal characteristics of the operational amplifier. So here you will be expecting this question for 7 marks. That means this topic we have covered earlier. We have to write what is operational amplifier. Operational amplifier definition. If it is, if you draw the symbol of this operational amplifier, it is well and good. Next, you have to add Ideal characteristics of the operational amplifier. So we have mentioned here nearly about eight ideal characteristics of an operational amplifier. So that you have to list out. Here it is mentioned only listed. So you can list out with the typical values. That will gives the 7 marks. So here operational amplifier definition will carry 3 marks, and ideal characteristics of an operational amplifier will carry 4 marks. So this is for 3 and this is for 4 marks. Total it will be asked for 7 marks. And next question is, here it is asked problem on sleeve rate. So direct formula substitution itself, you need not to worry about this. It will be asked for 4 marks. Just to write the sleeve rate formula, whatever you have, that is, so what is the question you will see? Input signal to an op amp is, so here it is given input signal, that is Vi. What can be the maximum gain of op amp with the sleeve rate of 0.4 volts per microseconds? So sleeve rate value is given, and the signal, it is given that input signal is a sinusoidal wave with the maximum voltage is 0.03, and you will be having frequency is 1.5 into 10 to the power of 5. That is omega value. This is omega value, which is nothing but 2 by f. So from this we have to obtain the frequency, and here you have magnitude, which we can consider it as AOL, and from this you can find out what is sleeve, you have a sleeve rate, and you have to find out what is the maximum gain, that is A value. You have to find out A. So this problem is asked for 4 marks. So these are the important questions that can be expected from these topics. So in the next video, we are going to discuss about the stability and what are the frequency compensation techniques that provides the stability of an op amp. Thank you.